Maha. Got it. Okay. The title of Maha's speech is Aging, Time of Opportunity and Growth. Maha's speech is 5 to 7 minutes for the timer, and I hope the evaluator has the evaluation form and ready to go. You give me a thumbs up. Okay.
Is there a way I can share my screen?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Should see a share screen.
Yes.
Icon.
Can everyone see my screen?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay. Okay, I'm ready. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I was recently asked to give a presentation about aging to a senior citizen program at the mosque. And since I am part of Toastmasters and we give presentations here, I thought why not also do it for Toastmasters. The only difference is that at the mosque, it was a 45-minute presentation. I had to summarize it into a 5 to 7 minute presentation. The title of my presentation is Aging, a Time of Growth and Opportunity. So what happens in the body as we age? As we age, our immune system gets weaker, and that is because our repair mechanisms become less robust. And this puts us at increased risk of infections. So we saw, for example, elderly who contracted COVID-19 had a higher mortality rate. That is because they had a lower immune system. The immune system, not only does it help us fight off infections, it also helps fight cancer cells. And because of a lower immune system, we are at increased risk of cancer as we age. Cardiovascular disease is the #1 cause of death in the US, so we cannot talk about aging without talking about the cardiovascular system. As we age, we have stiffening of the blood vessels, and we also have fat deposits in the blood vessels. These things lead to an increased risk of high blood pressure, and that in turn increases the risk of things like heart attacks and stroke. Also, our metabolism is very much affected as we age, and we generally develop a lower metabolism. And this happens because of two main reasons. One reason is that as we age, specifically after the age of 40, we start to lose muscle mass. And muscle is one of the main contributors to our metabolism, or how much we burn, how much we expend energy on the daily activities that we do. And the second factor that contributes to a lower metabolism is that we become more sedentary as we age. So these two factors, losing muscle and moving less, result in a lower metabolism and therefore increase our chances of becoming overweight as we age. As we age, not only do we lose muscle mass, but we also lose bone mass. And this increases our risk of having osteoporosis, as well as increased risk of fractures as a result. And we all know about the changes that happen in our cognition as we age. Memory loss is a normal part of aging, and dementia is a type of memory loss. Now, dementia is not part of the normal aging. Dementia happens as a result of a medical condition that leads to memory loss. So some memory loss is normal as we age, but dementia is a different type. Dementia is a type of memory loss to the point that we can no longer do our daily activities. For example, you had a job, and now because of this memory loss that you have, you can no longer carry that type of job. This would be an example of dementia. Now, what can we do in order to achieve healthy aging? Because that is a goal that all of us have, and we all want to know what can we do in order to age in a healthy way. The first thing that we have to do is we need to make sure we are controlling what we are putting into our bodies. And the most important part is to look at our diets. One thing that happens as we age is we have a malabsorption of nutrients and vitamins. So we need to make sure that we are taking in the nutrients without extra calories. So we need to make sure we are taking in our fruits and vegetables. Another thing we need to make sure that we are doing is that we are taking enough fiber. A high fiber diet has been linked to promoting good bacteria in our gut. And there's a whole field out there emerging about the importance of cultivating good bacteria and the decreased risk in developing certain conditions, such as Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, as well as obesity. The bacteria we carry in our gut have been linked to becoming overweight later on. And a high fiber intake has been one of the main things to show cultivating this type of bacteria in our body. I mentioned that we lose muscle mass as we age, so we need to make sure that we are taking in enough protein in order to promote muscle production. We need to avoid processed foods because that will lead to more toxins and chemicals in our bodies. Also, sugar has been shown to be one of the main things that accelerate the aging process. So if you want to age at a less speed, get rid of sugar from your diet. I talked about not taking in extra calories. So if we eat things like chips and baked goods, these things only give us calories, but they're not providing any nutritional value. We need to make sure our foods have enough calcium and vitamin D because that will promote good bone health. And finally, we need to make sure we are drinking enough water. Staying on the topic of diet, there has been a lot of good research about caloric restriction and fasting and their benefits on health. They looked at animal studies and human studies where they made either of these subjects take in less calories of what's required in a day. And in animal studies, that showed that when the animals had lower calories in a day, they lived longer. And they also had decreased risk of cancer. In animals, in the human studies, caloric restriction showed a decreased risk of diabetes, heart disease, and stroke, and even better memory scores. And what I find very interesting is that intermittent fasting and caloric restriction have been shown to enhance something called autophagy. Autophagy is basically cell recycling. And we need cell recycling in our bodies because that promotes healthy cells, repair of older non-functional cells. And this process, cell recycling, has also been shown to fight cancer cells. And they actually looked at animal studies and they showed that animals who ate less or had less calories, they were able to see even cell recycling in their brain. So, and again, more cell recycling means less risk of disease, so less risk of things like dementia and Parkinson's. I talked about diet. The second very important factor in achieving healthy aging is exercise. And there are different types of exercise. There's aerobic exercise, and that requires endurance, things like jogging, brisk walking, and then resistance training, which include things like weightlifting and doing strength exercise. And both of these types of exercise have been shown to be very good for the cardiovascular system. And even exercise has been shown to decrease stress hormones and increase endorphins, which make us happier people. Exercise has been shown to, as you know, increase muscle mass. And the more muscle we have, the higher our metabolism is, and the more or the less chance of weight gain with time. Specifically, resistance training or building strength in the body by, for example, doing things like planks and push-ups have actually been linked to living longer. And another very important and interesting point about exercise is that it has been shown to increase something called growth factors in our brain, and that has shown to result in neuroplasticity. Now, neuroplasticity means forming new brain connections. We classically thought that our brain stopped growing at a certain time period, but it turns out we can actually form new brain connections at any time in our lifetimes. And exercise has been shown to be one of the things that increase or form new brain connections. Because neuroplasticity or forming new brain connections is such a fascinating area, I just wanted to see what's out there that has been listed also to increase the chance of having these new brain connections. Things that I have come across are intermittent fasting that has been shown to increase brain connections, traveling, because now you're engaging in a new experience, learning a musical instrument, learning a new language, doing hand exercises in your non-dominant hand, reading fiction, expanding your vocabulary, doing art, even sleeping has been shown to increase brain connections. And with that said, if given the opportunity, we're all gonna age, so aging is inevitable. However, we have so many opportunities such as focusing on a healthy diet and exercising in order to achieve healthy aging. Back to you, Glennis.
Thank you, Maha. Really interesting topic. I think I was very engrossed in it and didn't really pay attention to the time. I wasn't sure if you were able to see the timer also.
I was not looking at the timer.
Okay. But yeah, again, very interesting topic.